Welcome to the Two Dopes from Jersey podcast,
where we're eating and loving our way through the great Garden State and beyond. Hey guys, Two Dopes from Jersey, bringing you the second episode of our podcast.
That's right. This is our second installment.
Woo woo!
We didn't know how it was going to go, but our first episode was so much fun, and we got such great feedback about that episode.
Yep.
And we were really thrilled about it. Some of the things people said. So here we are, episode 2,
ready
rolling
to roll.
along. So Mag, what is episode 2 going to be about?
We sat down.
Before I get started,
you want to talk about the fantastic?
Yeah. You know what? I listened back.
Fantastic.
I listened back to the first podcast. I didn't really listen to it, and we put it up, and then I listened back to it. I didn't realize how often I use the word fantastic. I always say, oh, this is fantastic. That's fantastic. So if you're playing along at home, it's a great opportunity to have a drinking game.
If you're 21 and older,
or
no drinking and driving.
Right. You might be hammered halfway through this episode, but I'm going to do my best not to say fantastic anymore. That's my credo for the rest of this podcast.
Well, good luck to you. For all those listeners out there, I've got a cold brew ready to play this game, and I know it's going to be going down quite quick.
Yeah. Well, let's we'd be remiss not to mention the fact that this is St. Paddy's Day week. St. Patrick's Day will be coming up very shortly.
So we had to think about our favorite Irish bar in New Jersey, a Jersey Gem.
Jersey Gem, not easy to say. Not even just our favorite Irish pub, but one of our favorite bars
of all time,
of anywhere, in the world. Dun, dun. And we would be talking about the fabulous Tir Nan in Trenton.
Yes.
Tir Nan is a very special place. It's as authentic Irish pub as you can get this side of the pond, as they say.
You could drive by it. It's in a row home in Trenton.
Yeah, it's right on Hamilton Ave. You're just getting into the outskirts of Trenton. You'll see a little harp sign hanging up there. You could drive by it very easily. It's an old row home. It's been there for quite a bit.
But when you walk through the doors, you just get transported into an Irish pub, and it's an oasis.
Yeah, it really is. And, it's got great history to it. The original owner, Billy Briggs, is a legendary figure around those parts. Anybody who was lucky enough, like I was, to be back in the day when he was on the stage playing banjo, back when the people would smoke in the bar and he'd have a big cigar sticking out of his mouth, and the atmosphere was just electric. The room was only elbow room. You had to muscle your way through the place, and it was literally fantastic. Maggie, I did it. Fantastic.
Woo, wait, hold on. I'm going to take a drink.
All right, everybody take a drink at home.
Drink responsibly.
We both have Guinness right now.
Wishing, honestly, we were at the Tir Nan drinking their Guinness,
yes,
which is the best Guinness you can get.
Hands down. Hands down, best Guinness. But, Maggie and I used to go to the Tir Nan, too, early on in our relationship when Papa's Pizzas used to still be close by. In Trenton. Now it's in Robbinsville. We would go sit at the bar, have ridiculously delicious Guinness, and then pop over to Papa's and have some pie. And you can even bring the pie over to Tir Nan. They're really great about it. You bring your own food in the places. I mean, the current owners, Billy Briggs passed away some time ago.
And then Todd and his wife Maureen, they're the owners of the bar now. And we sat down and we chatted with them and we got some inside scoop about what's going on.
And let me just tell you something. And, I'm going to say it. They're fantastic people. They're just fantastic people.
Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so let's jump right into the interview we had with them, and then maybe when we come back, I can tell you a couple of my old stories from the Naga. Who knows? But here's the interview we had with them.
So today we have very special guests. We're so excited to have Todd and Maureen, the owners of the Tir Nan, on with us today. So welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great, really exciting. We are huge fans of the Nog, and we want to spread the word to people what a great just Jersey gem that the Nog really is. So let's jump right into some questions, and maybe we'll start off with just saying, for people out there who don't know about the Tir Nan, what's the history of the Tir Nan?
So Tir Nan was opened in 1991 by Billy Briggs. He had a place down the street from the current location. It was called Billy's Place. It was the building was going downhill, and then the area was going downhill. So he ended up buying a bar called, I believe it was Zotto's, and it was like a little neighborhood bar. And he turned Billy's place into Tir Nan, which means land of eternal youth.
You're from Boston originally, the Boston area?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so how did the guy from up there come down here and buy the Tir Nan? I mean, what's the story in that?
That created a stir that somebody from Boston was buying the Tir Nan, so we quickly had to make our faces available in there so people could get to know us and realize I wasn't just a Boston jerk.
And more so, it was kind of funny because, there's always rumors, right? And rumors fly around, and sometimes telephone tag makes rumor that starts out as an apple turn into an orange. So we ended up buying the place, and the rumor started immediately. And it was anywhere from turning the place into a Mexican restaurant to, you can imagine like an Italian place. And so there was quite the hubbub when we first bought the place. Hence Todd mentioning we really kind of had to put our name and face out there so everyone knew we weren't trying to change things. Yeah. We wanted to really just take the existing greatness of the bar and just elevate it a little bit and try to get back to what Billy had started.
Yeah, and have them pump the brakes on us and welcome us.
Right, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I can imagine people were a little bit in uproar because it's such a...
Yeah, and I mean, that bar, it has such a great sense of community. Every time we're in there, it seems like a gathering spot for so many people.
Maggie, it is pretty cool, though. One thing that we've always wanted to try is to keep the welcomeness in there. And like you said, having families in there. We now have 3 generations of patrons or drinkers in there. So the current patrons that have turned 21, their parents and their grandparents were drinking there when they were kids.
Wow.
And they were in the pub too, and they remember sitting in the booths. So what that does is it creates that larger family group in there. And we always try to stick with that. And if I find I'm at the bar more than Maureen, because Maureen works full time for her sales position job. But if I find that there's some type of disturbance that's affecting that feel, we try to quickly correct that and remove that. So, and I think we've done a pretty good job of keeping that aspect of the Tir Nan and the family.
It's not even
feel good that I've never been asked to meet.
Yeah, I'm thinking, okay, we better be on our best behavior because we can get a little rowdy.
We have our eyes on you.
Yeah.
Good.
But even it's that sense of family that kind of when we stepped into the place, we could feel it. And that really has been an overriding goal for us, is to really kind of keep that. And we have 2 little kids, so we're trying to instill in them the idea of this entrepreneurship and the idea of family and being able to support a community, whether it's the Irish community or any community that you're a part of. It really is keeping that tradition alive and trying to keep that sense of family and tradition alive.
Yeah, that's excellent. Yeah, because the Nog is it's one of those places. As soon as you step in, there's a different feel to the place.
And especially, we've walked in a few times on Sundays, and just with the live music and everything going on, I think with the Sunday sessions.
Yeah, tell us about the Sunday sessions. How'd that get started? And
so it's something that's prevalent in Ireland. You could walk in a pub. So a session isn't technically scheduled. Somebody will walk in, they'll have a fiddle with them, they'll have a guitar, and all of a sudden they're drinking a pint and they'll start playing. That's hard to recreate at our location because not everybody's walking in with a banjo or whatever. However, we figured that would be a good day for people to come out. They used to do it, they stopped doing it. And I think it was in 2013, we started doing it once a month. And it drew a lot of interest. We were having a lot of families in there. It was turning into like a potluck dinner. which was really nice. So everybody could come out, they could have something to eat. We got a lot of feedback from the patrons regarding the time. So we kind of changed times around, and it was pretty good. We started doing it twice a month. However, as we were doing it twice a month, it would kind of take away from each other's session. So we went back to moving it to once a month, and it was doing very well last year. So we're really happy with that.
Yeah,
we hope to.
We're fortunate to be there one of those times.
It was really.
It's fantastic when you're in there and everybody's just playing. You can't describe the atmosphere other than it's almost a little magical.
It really was magical.
Yeah, the only or a good description would be you were transported to Ireland.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Then to get on a plane,
right?
And that's another thing that's special about the pub. If you're driving down Hamilton Ave, you're just going to see a dual house, and it's hard to realize that there's an actual pub in there.
Oh, yeah.
So when you walk in there and you see a pub, it's pretty fantastic. But the real special thing is if you've been to Ireland and you walk in there, you're quickly brought back to Ireland. So when folks from Ireland come over for the first time, it's really nice seeing their reaction when they walk in, and they're there for quite a few pints. And
well, I will say this: not only the ambiance is so magical, but the Guinness is by far the best Guinness we've had outside of Ireland.
Maggie, thank you.
It's the best Guinness in the States,
Yeah.
certainly.
Without a doubt. Actually, when I was in Ireland, Brian and I were there. The cab driver actually was talking about the Nog, saying that's the only place they'll go to.
Mm-hmm.
Their sister lives in New Jersey, and they were over visiting, and that's the only place they'll drink Guinness outside of Ireland.
Yeah. So I've been hearing this a lot, and of course we've reopened in September. We've had restrictions. We've introduced this Irish whiskey ambassador thing, but one thing that I've noticed is we are just selling Guinness right now, plus the whiskey. And you'll look at the patrons in there, and you'll look down. You'll see 90% of the people drinking Guinness. So I think we not only serve the best pint in New Jersey, it's possible we serve the best pint in the States.
Oh, I definitely think so.
I haven't had Guinness in every bar in the country, but out of all the bars I've had them in, yours is by far.
I would say I've
question.
had Guinness in every single bar in the country. And
he's done a lot more research.
But the statement's always, this is pretty good, but it's not the Nog. So that's a statement that we've said quite a few times.
It's almost to the point where we won't even order Guinness out unless we're at your bar.
That's actually true.
Yeah.
That's so true. So tell us about the whiskey ambassador thing that I just mentioned. What's that all about?
Sure. So probably about 4 years ago, we had increased our whiskey from the primary Powers, Jameson, Tullamore Dew, maybe Bushmills, and a few others. We started increasing it for some high-end ones. I quickly realized that there were a lot of people interested in having higher end whiskeys. So I had figured out a list of 32, and they were all behind there. And on November 9th, we started the promotion. So if somebody comes in and they drink all 32, of course, not in one seating, we limit the amount. But they become a Tir Nan Irish whiskey ambassador, and what they get is a nice Carhartt zipper hoodie with a Tir Nan whiskey ambassador logo that cannot be bought; it can only be earned. So we, since November 9th, we've had 17 people finish it, and we now have 104 people signed up for it.
Oh, excellent!
So, as you can imagine, our whiskey suppliers are happy with us, and it's been a nice boost during these COVID restrictions, and it's also created an awesome buzz to the pub and
to the patrons.
Yeah.
Well, it's a couple things actually. It's obviously, everyone's struggling a bit during the COVID situation, and especially for such a small business like we are, we have limited capacity as it is, and then for the restrictions on top of it, it just really was handcuffing.
Yeah.
But this, Todd came up with this idea. He's been stewing on it for a while. He brought it to the market, and not only was it a good boost for the business during such a tough time, the patrons, again, it goes back to that family, like they embraced this like it was no other. And not many people typically would come in and order these types of shots, but they knew A, they were helping us, and B, that there was a goal at the end that they could get this fantastic sweatshirt and kind of have a title to go along with it.
Yeah.
Like,
and probably, I would imagine, a better palate for whiskey too. They're like taking a class.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And so a lot of the patrons were giving me a hard time because I came up with the idea and I wasn't doing it myself. So about 2 weeks ago, I started it. I tried to limit so I'm up to 19 as of last night. I didn't tell. And so I have 13 more to go. So, but I did get a sweatshirt for myself. And
we'll say he earned it. We'll say he earned it. He's done enough work.
But the guys that are, or the crew that are ambassadors, have made me put a black electrical tape strip over the ambassador, and they said I can't wear it. I have to have that on until I finish.
That's
fair enough.
So I think it would be fair to say then at this point, the nOg is the best Guinness in town, and probably now one of the better Irish whiskey destinations.
Us as bartenders are kind of coaches for these ambassadors, so we have to. A lot of people ask us to make selections. It's really exciting when you pick one and you give it to them, and then they have a big smile and they're like, "I'm going home and getting a bottle of that."
Yeah, that's I would refer to yourself more as a professor, though, maybe not a coach. You're like a professor. Let's elevate it.
I'll start screaming at them to do push-ups. So it's been an interesting time. I think COVID has allowed us, allowed all of us to look at what's important. It's allowed us to a little more focus in the bar. I think when the restrictions end and we're back to normal, it is going to be the new Roaring 20s.
Oh yeah, 100%.
People and
you won't be able to get in places.
Absolutely. You think it's trouble making reservations for a COVID safe place now. Yeah. So I'm extremely excited and proud of where we're going.
So thanks, guys. This was great. We're gonna tell everybody we know, like we always do. We're the ambassadors to know.
Yeah,
anyway.
forget whiskey ambassadors. We're just regular ambassadors. We're always telling people.
But thank you guys, and we'll get the word out there and encourage people.
And we'll be there with our whiskey tasting prowess ready to go.
Yes.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Well, we appreciate you guys and thank you for taking the time to do this and help us promote the nOg in any aspect, because not only again do we want to have the business stay alive, but we love the tradition and the familyness that it comes with. So anything that you guys can do to help would be greatly appreciated.
Excellent.
Absolutely. We mean it when we say it's one of our all-time favorite bars. So we can't wait to go back and have a beer with you guys soon.
All right.
You need to make sure to let us know so that we can be there too.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Now that I got your number, you can't get away from it.
You're gonna have to block him. Be like, new number. Who's this?
No. You guys are always welcome.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Meg. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Take care.
We're great people, but who's Todd kidding? Said call and let us know when you're gonna. Every time we're at the nOg, he's at the nOg. He's always there. And if you go there, there's a good chance he's going to be behind the bar.
And you'll be lucky.
Yeah, you'll be lucky. Great guy. Yeah, a lot of fun.
But how many of you guys heard the fantastic drops?
Yeah, Todd even had a couple in there.
Yep.
So, so really, if you're in that area, or actually it's a destination kind of place.
It is a destination kind of place.
Set a Saturday aside or a weekday aside or whatever it is and get over there and experience it. And you won't be disappointed. You will, even if you're not a Guinness fan, You can try that Guinness, you'll be like, okay, I can see.
Yeah, the Guinness there is delicious.
So, good episode. Before we leave, let me drop an old school story.
Oh yeah, Brian's got some great stories about the nog.
I know,
He's just chomping at the bit to tell everyone.
Oh man, that's a lot of pressure. I mean, it's not that great of a story. But I was just gonna say, like, when I had said back in the day with the Billy Briggs days, when the bar, you open the door, you couldn't even get in the place. So when you get into the nog, there's a bar, and then you go back to the right. There's a little booth there that it's kind of like a U-shaped booth area. That was you got to get to that, and if you got there, you could sit all night comfortably, get somebody to the bar to drink. But that was like the place to get. Like, so you would stand there and wait for people to leave. So I'm there one time. I was with my brother-in-laws, I believe, and we're waiting. The booth clears out. It's like, oh great, the place is packed, smoke everywhere. We sit down in the booth, we nuzzle in, we have a couple Guinness, and I'm talking layers of smoke like you wouldn't believe. So it's a big window behind me because it's a row home, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to crack the window a little bit. It's wintertime. It's hot in here. There's 100 people in there, smoke everywhere. So I turn to my left side, Maggie.
Oh yes. And
I literally, when I tell you, my two fingertips touch the window. They touch the window, and this. Like 5-foot window just falls into the alleyway and just shatters everywhere. And all of a sudden, the smoke starts billowing out of the building, and everybody at the bar, like the bar's so packed, the bartender can't even see you. And everybody like kind of turns around, like laughs a little bit and turns back the other way. And I'm like, I turn to my brother like, oh my God, do you believe that happened? He's looking at me like, what did you do? And I said, Jim, clearly this thing is broken. And I said, they should put a sign on this thing. And I turned to my right side, and lo and behold, there is a gigantic sign that says, whatever you do, do not touch the window. So,
I'm surprised you didn't get thrown out for that.
Well, that's it. Again, that's how crowded the place would be. Nobody could even see it. But it was, the atmosphere after that was pleasant because all the smoke would billow out, and and everybody was drunk and all that. But anyway, that's one of the many stories. And again, Maggie and I, we've thrown Christmas parties there. We St. Patty's Days, birthday parties, all the time.
Any excuse we can get to gather at the nog, we take it happily.
We actually used to go there too, and we would just bring a little chessboard on like Sunday and sit there and have some Guinness and just play chess on a quiet, if the Sunday sessions. And by the way, what they were talking about the Sunday sessions, literally that booth I was talking about, people would be just sitting in the booth. You'd see
with instruments.
Yeah, like someone's grandmother, somebody like some little kid, somebody like in their mid-30s, just all generations sitting. Somebody have a fiddle, somebody would have a guitar, a harmonica, and they would just playing old school Irish tunes. And it's when we were talking about in the interview,
people bring potluck dinner.
Yeah.
We
were sitting there, and you just sit there, and I'm talking, the musicianship is off the charts.
It's fantastic.
And you're just
fantastic.
Wait, let me take a drink. But if you're lucky enough to be there, you're just sitting there going, I can't believe that these people are just playing instruments just out of nowhere in the bar, and two, how good it sounds.
Yeah.
And you're sitting there drinking Guinness, you're watching this, and you're like, I'm in New Jersey right now? I don't think so. Because we both traveled through Ireland, and it definitely, you feel like you walk outside and you're like, oh yeah, we're in New Jersey.
Of Ireland.
Oh, so it's tremendous.
The bar, it really.
And the bartender Frank, who moved back to Ireland, was a real treasure of the place. So get to the nog. We've posted some videos on our YouTube, like the inside of the place a couple of years ago. They were getting ready for St. Patty's Day, so the furniture wasn't in place, but you could get a sense of what the place looks like from some of those videos. And I think we even have a blog. Maybe we wrote something on our site too.
We have a few posts about the nog, but get to the nog. If you go because of this podcast, let Todd know that we sent you. Yeah,
tell him the 2 Dopes from Jersey sent you. And can't guarantee it's going to to do anything positive for you.
No, he might actually throw you out.
Yeah, you might. He actually has to leave. And another thing, great jukebox in the nog.
That is very true.
What a good jukebox in that place. So we're going to get there and definitely do the
Whiskey Ambassador program.
So
I cannot
excited.
wait.
Yeah.
I've already started studying at home.
Yes. We're very astute whiskey students, right? Astute whiskey students?
That's a tongue twister.
That's a t-shirt, I think. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Hope we didn't bore you. Hope you guys are excited to get out to the nog. We have no idea what episode 3 is going to be or when it's coming, but it's coming.
It's coming, and have a happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day. Cheers. Salate.
Cheers.